What's happening, guys? KingGBL here, and welcome back to some Go Battle League. Today I'm going to be showcasing a very strong team in the Great League Remix. Strap yourselves in. We went 23-7 with this team. 3-4-1s, a 2-4-1s, a 5-0, and 2-2. I can't speak today already. This is already going terrible. This is every video for me. I hope you all know this, right? This is every video for me. I have to re-record these segments. I'm not re-recording today. We had 2-4-1s, we had a 5-0. We had 2 3-2s. This team absolutely cooked, highly recommend it. Alone and Ninetales in the lead with West Daddy Cash and Daddy Golurk in the back. Daddy Golurk is so bloody good, man. I highly recommend using it. If you don't have it built, or if you haven't used it yet, I recommend just building that thing. It just slaps down backline so hard. There's so many games where I just had 1 or 2 shields in the Golurk, as you can see in this matchup right here. Ninetales into Drapion. Or sorry, it's actually Skuntank. In comes Daddy Golurk. Where'd the Skuntank go? Where's the Frostlass going? What's happening to these Pokemon? They're just getting absolutely eviscerated. We get a very bad lead in the second game. By the way, guys, if you're still here, drop a like on the video, subscribe, let me know what your thoughts are on Halloween Cup, on the Great League Remix. Did you guys survive last week with the Little Cup? I know a lot of you guys hit Legend with Marl and Shuckle or in Master League, so congrats to everybody. Last week I actually had a bit of a tank. I tanked all the way down to 2400 elo, believe it or not. I was at 28. It just got to the point where I was just top lefting bad leads in Little Cup. I didn't use Marl or Shuckle. I don't have either of them built. And just out of pure principle, I refused to build those Pokemon. I ended up losing. Well, the principle cost me 400 elo, put it that way. So where did my principles get me? Well, it got me all the way down to 2400 elo from 28. And that was within the space of like 3 or 4 days. I decided like, okay, this is my week off. I'm not going to play the game. But like towards the end of the cup, I just got really bored, man. I wanted to play some GBL. Whatever that was last week is not representative of what GBL is, in my personal opinion. Like I said, I know some of you guys really like Master League, but I think for most of us here, we just don't have the Pokemon built, or we don't want to, keep rating all of the meta Pokemon from Master League. And Little Cup, most of us don't want to build like a 500 CP, level 50 Pokemon, so I'm sure if you guys, even if you do have those Pokemon, I'm sure you can understand, like, it's really just not an investment most people want to make, and just having both those leagues on the same week was kind of rough for most of us here, but we're back, we're on Great League Remix. I'm not too sure if I'm going to be playing any Halloween Cup this week. It seems like a pretty limited RPS meta, to be fair. I see Azu, Galarian Weezing, Clodsire. There seems to be a decent amount of RPS trios in there, so I'm not too sure how much I'll play it. In this match, this was tricky. I had to decide which move to no-shield. I decided to no-shield this move. I go for the Shadow Punch on the Ariados. The opponent lets it through for some reason, and then we just slap down the Lantern. The opponent thought they could Water Gun down. Fantastic lead in the next one. They come into G-Weezy, and in comes the Lurkmeister. We're going to slap this bad boy all the way down. If you ever get Galarian Weezing safe swap, I do recommend going into the Whiscash instead, because they can threaten to one-shot you basically with the Brutal Swing, whereas with Whiscash you don't have to shield. However, we are going to be able to reach what I was hoping the opponent would expect to be a Dynamic Punch. I attempted to go for CMP tie here. We do get it here. Shadow Punch does a decent amount of damage, puts them into basically farm down range. In comes Tenda, in comes West Daddy Cash. If you look at the rankings for this, so many Pokemon are weak to ground. You know, you'll see the likes of Carbink, Bastiodon, Galarian Weezing, just a bunch of Pokemon that are weak to ground. So I just thought, like, why not run double ground? A9, it turned out to be a really good lead for me. I didn't see too many poisons, not too many steals in the lead. We did get that one Registeel lead, but apart from that, like, we had a lot of dragons in the lead, like Dragonites, Guzzlords, some neutral leads like Mud Boys. I don't think I came across any actual poisons, maybe 1 or 2. But yeah, like I said, very fantastic day with this team. 23-7. I do highly recommend trying this out, and we do go 4-1 in the first set. We absolutely love to see it. Venusaur's been quite a common lead as well. We can basically outpace it and win the 2-shield scenario. We win basically even shields. I think Venusaur might win the 0-shield, because I think they can take that move and just get off a Frenzy or a Sludge Bomb. In comes the Stinky Binky, and you're about to see, man. Golurk does not give... It gives zero about this Pokemon. Golurk absolutely up Carbink. The top left of the match. Get GG's, thanks for playing. Hopping into the next one, we have a Tropius here. Fantastic lead. They come into Steelix, which is not really an answer. And we do come into our Whiscash. You know, if you have bulky Pokemon on the safe swap, you know, that are weak to ground, I do think you want to bring in Whiscash to them, because if you bring in the Golurk, it's going to cost you shields. They actually build up to the Earthquake, which is quite interesting. I do 4 and throw. I was half expecting the opponent to try to take swap here, but thankfully they didn't, because that might have been a little bit tricky. We go for the farm down with the Tropius. Of course, we have the Powder Snows for it, and the Weather Balls, which are double super effective. We come in here, the opponent comes in, the Stinky Binky! You've seen it once. The opponent's probably seen it once before, because they immediately top left the match. And let's hop on into the next one. Stinky Binkies are not safe on these streets. Stinky Binkies are not safe on these streets. Daddy Golurk is in the back waiting for them. And he's in the back waiting for this as well. We're going to slap this boy all the way down. And we're going to see what we can do here. Marowak, of course, is just out of the match here. In comes Whimsicott. The really good thing about, you know, counter-swapping Golurk sometimes is look at these Shadow Punches, dude. They go absolutely crazy. If I wanted to, I could probably shield and slap it down, but I do think they'll probably be able to commit to the farm down, which they do. We come into Ninetales. I'm assuming they have answers to Ice in the back, so we let this move go, we insta-swap, and it's their own Daddy Golurk. I think we can just go for Mud Bombs here, generally speaking. I no-shield this move, which is kind of an interesting choice. I think the opponent was going to make it to 2 moves, and I think Whimsicott might have been able to make a move as well. I think that was why. I can't quite remember. This is sped up really fast here, so I can't really react to it properly, but I think that was the case. I decided just going for the Powder Snows would be the best way to win that match. Get a good lead. In the next match, we have this Licky Swift Swap, which is a little bit awkward. We definitely love to have our Dynamic Punch on here. We don't have any Mana Bosses in this meta, so we don't really have to worry about that. I just think Dynamic Punch gives you a lot more flexibility on this Pokemon, but let's move go thinking I might go for a sneaky Shadow Punch. Not today, buddy. They come into the Golurk again. We're gonna get off the Shadow Punch. Unfortunately, the opponent will get a huge farm down. Although, if you have a look at these Mud Slaps, they are slapping. The Mud Slaps are slapping. I don't go for the CMP tie that I lose. They go for a Dynamic Punch, which is pretty crazy. They come into Clefable. I go for a Psyshock. At first glance, I thought this was Galarian Weezing, so I went for Psyshock, which would be super effective, right? So yeah, a little bit of a mistake there. Psyshock only does marginally more damage than Weather Ball. It does more damage, but it's much less energy efficient, so you should always go for Weather Ball if possible. Only go for Psyshock if it's absolutely necessary. We get off a Mud Bomb here, bang, this is going to take out the Golurk. Good games well played, and let's hop on into the next one. Yeah, like I said guys, this team worked really, really well for me. A lot of really good leads. Venusaur in the lead. We pause a turn here on 5. We basically just outpaced the opponent here. As you can see, these Venoms are adding up, right? So, like, it's not that horrible of a matchup for Venu, but it's not great, of course. I'm expecting the opponent to go for some sort of a catch, and I'm expecting them to let this move go, because if they don't, I can just basically shield this next move, farm it all the way down. They're clearly ABA weak to this, and they come into the Steelix. I immediately swap into Whiscash. We're going to, of course, take any energy they want to throw. They go for Psychic Fangs, which is good here. And I think they actually start building up towards the Earthquake, which is going to kind of force me to throw my energy a little bit sooner here. They are committing to something here. The opponent ends up throwing in 5, which probably is a crunch. That does not quite knock me out. Unfortunately, we can't overperform too much here. We are debuffed, and we're on super low health, and we actually aggro swap here into the Golurk. In comes Carbink, Stinky McBingerton. It's going to get absolutely slapped here. Bang! They can get off a Moonblast here, which will definitely take me out, but we still have the Ninetales alive. The opponent tries to go for a catch. It's not really going to happen at this point. I can Zero Bubble this. I was trying not to knock them out and powder some of them down just to kind of troll the opponent. They were nowhere near the move, but GG's well played. Hopping into the next one here, the opponent swaps into a Swampert safe swap. Basically I decide here, the opponent's on 5 by the time I'm throwing this move. We'll get this off, come into our Whiscash. Now normally you don't see MP moves that you lose, however the opponent's up to back-to-back Hydro Cannons. I can take 1 but I can't take 2. So I CMP this move, meaning that they don't get off both and don't get a shield off me. They come into the Dragonite, we'll go for a Scald right here. I'm basically hoping for the debuff because of course Superpower will do a lot of damage to the Ninetales. I'm thinking I probably no-shield this move because they are bound to have an answer to Ninetales in the back, although I do end up shielding it, which is fair enough I suppose. That would do a lot of damage. They come into Nidoqueen, I stay into Chip, which is probably questionable. Daddy Golurk comes into the match, starts slapping the Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen said nah, I'm good. We get a terrible lead in the next one, we hop into Daddy Golurk here and the opponent comes into Low Kicks. This is pretty bad for me. I go for this immediately. I scroll down my screen by mistake and the opponent lets the move go. This is pretty rough. I guess I gotta just come in with Ninetales, take the move, and just hope for the best at this point. I wait down my full switch clock because I don't want to get locked in against the little Fireboy. I done 4 in swap, meaning the damage does not apply. So we get it with the energy, get the catch on Whiscash. What's in the back? It's Daddy Golurk in the back. So the name of the game here is to try to stall the clock as much as possible. The opponent's already stalled the clock. If you look in the bottom right, you can see my clock is coming up thick and fast here. I 1 and throw here, get this move off as soon as possible. And I'm going to look to snipe with a Weather Ball here as soon as possible. Bang, we come in, go for the Weather Ball. And this is still going to be really close. I get off a Psyshock, this will get the opponent quite low. It's going to get them into Mud Bomb range. Steady Cash is known for its bulk, and we do make it to the move. So that was a very good win. I didn't think I was going to win that one. That Golurk with 2 shields, man, I thought that was just game over for me. Daddy Golurk works on both sides. And in comes Trevenant lead, so quite interesting. I'm expecting Carbink, it is Carbink in the back. Trevenant and Carbink go together pretty well. We're going to basically shield once, slap all the way down. If they go for Power Gem, they still don't reach a Moonblast, they don't even reach another Power Gem. You can slap this the whole way down. Back in comes Trevenant, 1 and throw the Shadow Ball. Actually, we don't 1 and throw because we're at 100 energy. We're going to 1 and throw the next move, and I think we're going to just tap the next move after that, just to basically look to get rid of it. I tap my screen again. iPhone screens are so annoying, dude. I wish I knew how to turn that off. Yep, that almost takes them out. We come in for the powder snow snipe. In comes Bastion. You're going to see this team around a decent amount. This is like your RPS team, basically. Trevenant lead with these two in the back. Weak to fire in the lead. Double rock. You're going to see this stupid team around. However, if you use this team, you just completely RPS it. Expect this team right here to be very common, and expect to basically win against it every time. You just completely hard counter them here. We're going to get off this dying move. We're going to swap out. No point in letting the opponent get extra smackdowns. We're going to let this move go. I think we can probably even like mudshot down the Trevenant at this stage. We're just mudshotting down. Like I could have removed 5 minutes ago here, but I'm just like bro, please just top left. The opponent comes in Trevenant. It's like, yep, gonna shield the seed bomb. I was half wondering, could I like slap him down with Golurk instead? Whenever opponents are like doing this and just not top lefting, I tend to just BM them because it's like, stop wasting my time, you obviously lose, just quit the match. So I decide, you know what, if you're going to delay it out, I'll delay it out even longer. So here's a funny little sort of concept, right? People say it's sort of, if you're delaying the outcome of the match, right, it's disrespectful. But I think it's disrespectful not top lefting when it's so obvious that you can't win the match. I think that is disrespectful as well. Not top lefting when you're getting completely RPS'd and there's like no win con in the match. I think not top lefting is also like a form of BM. But anyway guys, they go for a seed bomb here. We outpaced these moves. It's 5-4 to Weller Ball. That'll take them out. In comes Morpeko, bro. This Morpeko done some crazy work to me today. I'm not too sure if I showcased any of these battles with Morpeko, but this is not going to be one where they do a lot of work to me. We're going to come in, we're going to slap the absolute life out of it. They enter hangry mode. We're just in Daddy Golurk mode every day here. Anyway guys, we're going to hop into the next one. We're going to get another Morpeko in this match. I'm really unaware of this Pokemon's like moves and all that kind of stuff. I thought this would only be a Psychic Fangs. It's a seed bomb, it almost takes me out. And every time they throw a move, they enter that mode. I thought it was only after throwing Aura Wheel, but it's after every move, which is really interesting. They actually get off another seed bomb, so it's like, oh my goodness, dude, please just leave. Stop bullying me with this bloody little mouse, dude. This little fake Pikachu's just destroying my whole team. Now I'm going to get permanently debuffed. This is brutal. I come into the Ninetales here. It's like, well, I suppose a better shield. Probably the hardest hitting move left in the game. It'll probably one-shot me. We end up CMPing. Like, this is just complete shambles at this point. The opponent comes into a Pangoro, though. This is quite interesting. Can I still win this? The opponent tanks the move. I might be able to commit to a farm down. The opponent's got 2 shields. I've got 1. I shield up the first close combat. I'm going to swap out, catch the second one. The opponent, had they done one more fast move, I think actually I would have been able to mudshot down, so I think it would have been fine. But that was a very, very close match. I probably should have lost that one, but good game as well played to the opponent there. We get this in the lead, and the opponent stays into throw in alignment. At this point, I'm wondering, can I just farm this the whole way down? It's 4-free to these moves. I end up going for a catch. I think I could have farmed it down, honestly, but I do end up going for a catch. They come into the Drift Limb, and I'm going to get off a Scald. This is not insignificant damage. This will do about 50% still. Yep, definitely very respectable damage. I'm expecting an Icy Wind here. I'm hoping it knocks me out. Unfortunately, it doesn't knock me out. The opponent gets an additional Hex through. We one and throw the Weller Ball here, looking to seal in the knockout before we get debuffed. In comes Daddy Machamp, in comes Daddy Golurk, and that's GG's. Who's the real daddy around here? Who's the real daddy? Machamp is the stepdaddy, Golurk is the main daddy here. If you guys want to get your own Morpeko, it's the research task for winning 2 raids. You can also get it through GBL, and there's timed research you can do as well. Tapu Fini in the next match is a very awkward one, because if you look at my backline, right, both of my Pokemon don't really want to see it. Whiscash does fine. I'm just going to go for a Psyshock. The opponent shields the first move. I'm happy enough with that. I'm expecting them to go for Nature's Madness here. They end up going for a Surf, which I was kind of surprised that knocked me out. Go into Whiscash here. I should be able to outpace the Mud Bomb. The opponent goes for a catch on the Sableye. It's going to take 2 moves to knock it out anyway here. We go for a Scald on the first one. I think 1 Scald plus 1 Mud Bomb should be enough to take it out here. Foul Play coming in. I just decide, like, I can't really shield. I need to kind of keep shields for my Golurk. Tapu Fini is getting quite low, so I'm wondering if I can just farm it the whole way down. That would be ideal, and hopefully it's something that's weak in the back. We do get off a Mud Bomb on the Tapu Fini, so we either get big damage, or we'll get 2 shield Golurk. We swap into the Golurk to get an energy lead. The opponent goes for a Surf. Of course, we have to shield everything here at this point, and in comes the Tin Can. Tin Can, you're not going to have a good day, buddy. You're not going to have a good day, buddy. They go for a Zap Cannon or a Focus Blast here. All of the moves are double resisted. Just in case they had Flash Cannon, I decided to shield it just to respect the move. We undercharge the Shadow Punch, we'll be able to farm down. And I think we would have farmed down the Tapu Fini as well. The opponent swaps into Machoke, I come into the Slap Daddy, and that's game over. GG's, thanks for playing. I just wanted to throw these battles in here because Golurk was just doing so much work in the back. Steelix is a really interesting lead because Ninetales kind of walls its fast move, double resisted fast move. Psychic Fangs add up after a while. So I decide to 4 and throw here, basically look to get some energy off here. I decide to 1 and throw, because this would actually knock them out, and they're ABA weak, so I might be able to get a shield off the opponent. The opponent comes into Golurk, which is a really interesting swap. I come into the West Daddy Cash here, just to absorb some damage, get off some moves on the Golurk, and look to basically, you know, either get some shields, knock it out, see what's in the back, all that kind of stuff. They must be really weak to Ninetales, otherwise they wouldn't have come in here. Definitely a very interesting move by the opponent here. Kind of sort of gives away what they're weak to here. I decide to come into Ninetales, go for the move right away. We're only one powder snow off, we won and throw here. Get rid of this, and it's actually Pangoro in the back. We come into Slap Daddy, even though they've got super effective Night Slashes. We can just slap it the whole way down, and we get another fantastic lead with Dragonite. A lot of Dragonites, and once again, I make the same mistake here. I do end up coming into the Golurk. You can't quite farm this the whole way down before they get off 2 brutal swings. You probably can take a brutal swing. Again, with the iPhone screen. Maybe you can't take it. I feel like it would just do too much damage. But they come in Dragonite, and the cool thing is I should be able to get off 2 Shadow Punches here, which will do a ton of damage to Dragonite. Unfortunately though, they do farm us down. They are able to get off a superpower here. We do survive one. I'm anticipating the swap. We swap out its Lantern in the back, and I think we should still be in the driver's seat here. We should be in a good position still. Get off the Mud Bomb here, bang, that does a lot of damage. Now, the only way the opponent wins this match here is by basically me taking them out with Whiscash, not being able to knock the opponent out, and then them getting a huge farm, superpowering the Ninetales, or Dragon Clawing it or something. So I decide here to stop attacking until my switch clock is almost up. We come into Ninetales, get off a move, and that's going to be good games well played. Had the opponent got some extra farm, they might have been able to win that, but I still think I probably was going to win that no matter what there. Good games, we get a massive 5-0 to finish off the sets. And guys, I think I started off on 24-16. That was a massive climb yesterday, about 240 elo roughly, within the space of 6 sets. Huge gains, 23-7. Highly recommend trying out this team. I think this team may become sort of half popular and people might start trying it and countering against it, so, you know, watch out for it. As you can see, I'm doing some practice battles, testing out this Morpeko. I think it is really interesting that it does the form change every single time. So that's a really good way, if you're swapping this in, to delay the switch clock, right? If you need to delay the switch clock, this is the best Pokemon to do it, because that animation takes a long time. We'll get one last slap down just for the road. And you guys, I hope you all enjoyed the video. I'm going to be uploading my 1 to Legend video later on today, so stay tuned for that later on. I'll most likely upload it like early morning EU. Probably in roughly 12 hours I'll be uploading the next 1 to Legend video. But thanks everybody for watching, hope you all enjoyed. If you did, drop a like, subscribe. Last but not least, and most importantly, have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll catch you all next time.